Hello, I'm Stephen Jerome. Again, I'm going to continue reading from my third novel, The London Year. Tess and Terry are in Paris, and they have just experienced a terrorist bomb that exploded on the street below their building, in the street in front of their building. And it's completely rattling. So this is part 73. "We have to get out of Paris," Tess said, still shaking as people started to gather and the distant sound of police sirens closed in. We made our way to the metro. From there, we bought tickets for an hour coach ride to Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte, which was the closest retreat Tess could think of without consulting a guidebook. Soon we were calming our rattled nerves on the grounds of a stunning 17th century estate. Its chateau was completely surrounded by a moat. A wide bridge gave entry to many grand rooms where the old wood floors echoed underfoot. To me, the main attraction was beyond the tall windows. It was the garden that beckoned. Le Nôtre's incredible landscape was a wonderland of wide terraces, patterned walkways, and large round ponds spewing water from elegant fountains. A forced sightline rose into the distance, crowned with a pavilion that looked back toward the chateau's dome and tall mansard roofs. Bisecting the long view were two narrow ponds that extended left and right out of view behind a wall of forest that defined the vast property's boundaries. Then more fountains, all of them a tour de force of gravity-defying pre-electric engineering. As Tess and I strolled in relative hiding from the shocking events in Paris, news was rippling out like a grim tsunami, creating waves of international headlines. The evening papers would report that it was a German terrorist cell that planted a bomb at a tour office doing business with Israel. An innocent bike messenger was killed as he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Tess and I were slow to realize that our first-hand experience of political terrorism would also mark the first serious fissure in our relationship. It began with lamenting the state of the world. How impotent were our governing systems if they were impervious to stirrings at the vast bottom layer of society where change was needed most. All we heard about the 1970s oil crisis were the high-stakes negotiations between a handful of rich Arabs and oil executives representing their own equally untold wealth. They were the deciders. We, the people, including millions of anonymous working-class Saudis, were out of the narrative altogether. Was violence the only catalyst for change? I refuse to believe it. Bombs were a downward spiral. War solved nothing. Perhaps not, Tess said, but our maps were drawn from conflict. Greed and cruelty were part of our human nature. Well, I disagreed. We have options, I protested. We're running out of options, Tess replied. Hating war won't solve things. Loving peace will. Tess laughed. We have no practice loving peace. We can't even imagine what a world at peace would look like, or what we do instead. I had to agree that declaring peace as easily as we declared war sounded, if not radical, then totally naive. But that's the goal as I see it, I said. Well, we better get there first, Tess concluded. Now that we can blow up the world, somebody just might. There was nothing more to add except a grim final note in the chateau's information brochure saying King Louis XIV was so jealous of designer Le Nôtre's sublime garden that he had the chateau's owner, Nicolas Fouquet, arrested and imprisoned for life. No good deed allowed to go unpunished. We'll stop there and continue with part 74 tomorrow. Thank you for following along.